Lane talked about a true representation of learning. And the true representation of learning was pitted against, and Lane, correct me if I'm wrong, what you call performative behavior. And I think that's a really, really wonderful way of expressing the conundrum that I think all educators find themselves in. Sorry about the syntax. On the one hand, performative behavior is not altogether bad. If I get in a plane, I want the pilot to do the things that pilots are supposed to do. That is performative behavior. So please check all your gauges, make sure we have gas in the airplane tank, and that sort of thing. On the other hand, I would actually like the pilot to be a thoughtful pilot and to have learned from his or her mistakes. And what exactly do you learn? I'll give you a quick example. A friend of ours is, in fact, a pilot. And it's a long story, and I'm happy to share the details later. It was actually published in the Wall Street Journal. He was flying, this sounds totally improbable, but it's true. He was flying a load of lobsters across North America, and literally 27 feet of one of the wings fell off. Well, you know what you're not going to do when you lose that much wing? You're not going to fly. So and it's Canada. I love Canada, but he's like at Saskatchewan. You know what you have in Saskatchewan? Nothing. Farmland. It's a lovely place, but it's a lot of farmland. So it's great for the breadbasket, not good for other things, like having a big airport. Long story short, he was not the pilot. He was the co-pilot. The pilot actually, this sounds improbable. It's totally true. The pilot actually passes out. So he has to land the plane, which he does. Okay. Now, his reflection on this, as you might imagine, took a somewhat religious term because he was glad to be alive. So he went to church right away. But the other thing is he learned about himself as a pilot. He learned about the skill set that he had to call on. So there was a lot of learning there. Now, my assumption is, to get back to pharmacy, is that kind of learning included or showcased in the portfolio that pharmacists create, the ones that are reviewed every 5 years? So lifelong learning here seems to me to be really important. We heard about lifelong learning from both Alex and Lane. Alex was very specific about, I see this portfolio as setting me up for the future. Lane was very specific about, I see this portfolio as presenting the option for me to think about myself as a lifelong learner now. The challenge I would share with us is to think about how lifelong learning and life-wide learning might play important, fundamental, influential roles in an undergraduate and graduate portfolio that is intended to foster reflective practice for a professional. That's what I would say.